Yes, when I say it's that easy, what I'm referring to is this class of render, which I call a donut render. The reason I call it a donut render is because what this really is it's a camera traveling inside of a donut. What the fuck does that mean? That means that we have a kind of donut-looking object and we have a spinning camera inside of it, and because this thing is circular, it's periodic, we get this infinite loop, and you could do all sorts of things with this. It doesn't have to be just a tunnel. You can make it flashing lights or whatever. So let me show you how to make this class of render, starting with a simple example. So going into geometry nodes, I'm going to delete everything and make a geometry nodes object. And if we have a camera traveling inside a donut, wow, there's a Fenway game going outside and it is loud. You don't care. If we are doing a camera inside a donut, what we need is a fucking donut. So let's make a donut. Start with a curved circle. Duplicate it. We are going to take this curve and turn it into a mesh, using this as the profile curve, and I'm going to bring down the radius. We have one circle sweeping around the other as the profile curve, making this donut. Now, to make this a bit more interesting, I'm going to subdivide the mesh. This is just adding resolution to it so that I can actually distort this thing. So I'm going to make it look kind of like a chasm. So I'm going to set position, offset by some random amount. That could be a noise texture or a random value. And let's just center this. So as always, we subtract by the 0.5 vector. Whoops. And then we scale this down. And this is going to give us a nice rocky donut. Let's up the detail and up the number of divisions until we have, yep, 1,000,000 polygons. And now you can see we have something that looks quite nice. So all we need to do now is have a camera traveling inside of it, which is pretty easy. Here's how you do it. You start with a curved circle. You can see it right here. It's inside the donut, perfectly sized because we used radius 1. And I'm going to add in a camera. That camera is going to be a follow path camera. So it's going to follow the path of this. So as I animate this, you can see it's going around the circle. We can actually do a driver hash frame. Just hash frame is going to give us a nice clean animation. It's going to give us the frame number as the offset. Make sure you do follow curve, so it's always going to be facing the curve. You can see the camera's rotating. And now all we need to do is we move this camera up, we view it, and maybe we need to rotate it by 90 degrees or 180 degrees or some number of degrees. I guess it was 224. So move the camera, take the focal length, make it tiny so we can actually see what's going on here. So this is a wide field of view. And let's see what this looks like. That looks pretty cool. You can also, by the way, do this kind of render where we have like a nice circular kind of thing going on here. Very trippy. To color this thing, I'm going to not use cycles, not use Eevee, but actually Workbench, because we can go to matcap and enable the normal coordinates, and this is going to give us a nice looking thing. Okay? If you want something that looks a bit more trippy, a bit more complicated, you can use Eevee. And in the shading workspace, we're going to make a material for this. Make sure to, in geometry nodes, apply that material. So I'm applying a material. And what we can use for this is we're still using Eevee because it's super fast, and these are going to be long renders. We are going to use the geometry node, which has a bunch of coordinate systems. So you can have position to get this kind of render, normal to get something like this. This is probably what you saw in the beginning of the video. Tangent, true normal, incoming, probably not incoming, parametric. You can play around with these. But that is how you make a donut render. Thank you for watching. Bye.